got a couple of you having a little bit of problems on this directed drive. And I'm going to kind of show you what I'm talking about. You know, it's easy to sit here and tell you, but for me it's easier to show you. Now, you always want to remember, hold up your direction hand so you don't go. Twirl your rope. Now, you see how she's just lollygagging through there? What you need to do is say, when I say go, I mean go. Right here. Come on. Put your ass up there. Make that horse move. Guys, the whole thing of this course is getting your horse's feet to move. And I'm going to go ahead and give you an example of what I'm talking about, how important this groundwork is. Monday, you probably saw the pictures on Facebook of Joy and I down at Push Mountain with Ty Chapman, riding on the Buffalo River. And we called that Monday morning, and Ty said, come on. Then he called back and said, well, I ain't got nothing to ride. I've done sold everything. He said, bring your 2-year-old. The horse, the sorrel colt with the 2 white feet that we use as a demonstration horse and part of this course, that's what I took down there. The colt had never been outside. He's only been ridden in this barn. We went down there, and Ty crawled on him in the middle of 50,000 acres. And I thought, well, let's find out how good my work is. We're riding along. Ty turns around to me and he says, I cannot believe how soft and responsive this horse is. He goes everywhere I point him. And I've been kind of joking with Ty a little bit here lately, and I said, Ty, this is what I'm telling you and everybody else. If you will do that groundwork correctly and get a hold of these horses on the ground, you cannot believe how much better ride you're going to have. Ty wound up going down ditches, going through everything. Did the old horse balk on some of that stuff? Absolutely, and he should have. Going down into water the first time, and we were going down a pretty good grade to get in there. Colt should have. But to be able to sit here and hold him between your hands and spur him on each side and keep him straight and to give the colt time to look and then go on through it, it makes all the difference in the world. And what you're doing is you're moving these horses' feet, okay? And I'm going to go through it again. Right here. Come on. I said go. And what you're doing, you're not being mean to them. You are demanding respect. If y'all are looking at this mare, this is the mare I was holding the other day when I went off on my rant about how rude she was. We've been training this mare for 2 weeks. Honest to God, we've let her off a week. She's been standing in the stall. And I told Joy, let's get the paint mare out and see where we're at on her with a rest. I swear to you, every one of you, we got her out, put her on the cross tie, saddled her up. Joy walked out here in the middle of the barn and flexed her on each side, crawled on her and rode her off. And she do a 1-rein stop, she'll do everything. But the thing about it is, what I want y'all to do is get a little bit, looky there, is get assertive with your horse. You know, looky there. There you go. Come here. See there? All I did was hold up my hand. And she went. And all it was a couple of times popping her on the ass with this rope. Okay? At first, she was what I called sticky-footed. Okay? Her feet were sticky. If she's going to be sticky, if she's going to have sticky feet right here doing this, I promise every single one of you she's going to have sticky feet when you get on her. Does that make sense? Whatever these horses are doing that you don't like on the ground, I promise you they're going to do it when you get on their back. Okay? Now, looky there. Now look how soft that mare's getting. See how she just bends around my body right there. Come on. There you go, right here. Right there. And another thing, if you do this and they're wanting to keep on going, then down here a little bit, drop your hand down. And if she keeps on going, give her a little bit of a jerk. You'll say, hey, pay attention here what I'm doing. Because some of these old horses will have the attention span of a gnat. And it's up to you to keep their mind on you. Look at her. She's sitting there licking, looking, paying attention. Guys, if you could have saw this mare 2 weeks ago, you would have wanted to kill her. She would have been all up here just on top of me, just running over me. It was absolutely horrible. And I really wish we would have filmed that. Okay? I wish we had. So you could see what can happen in just 2 weeks. Okay?
So let's just say she moved up towards you right now. And
right there. Used to, you could have shook that rope till your arm fell off and she wasn't moving. She'd hold that head straight up and stand there and just take it. And now I can sit here and get a little aggressive with it. She'll go ahead and get back. And if I take a step to her, she's going to get back. Backing is the ultimate respect that you're going to get out of your horses. All of this is about respect and responding to your wants and your needs. Okay, if you're sitting here and you're going to do this exercise, and this old horse kind of stands there, you saw it. See how he's just sitting here forward ass and ramp. Say, get over there. See, watch here. You get there. All I had to do is shake my hand that time. Look at her now. This goes back to what I was saying about the attention span of a gnat. Just stopping there for a minute, she kind of lost all of her urgency. I don't want her streaking through here, hitting me into that rope, dragging me. I want them feet moving. I want them moving from here to here. I want her to say, yes, sir, Mike, I'm moving over there right now. Because that way, when you give her a week off, she's sitting here basically saying yes. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am, Joy. I'm going to turn. I'm going to stop. I'm going to do all this stuff. But that's just something that I really wanted to kind of stress to y'all. A lot of times when you're first doing this, horses are fresh, and you ain't got to do a lot, you know, because they're just going to keep. If they're running through here like a maniac, and I do believe, whoa, right there, and I do believe that the sorrel 2-year-old done that to me. And if you'll remember what I did, I just kept moving him back and forth till he slowed down. I wasn't making him go fast. He was electing to do that. This is something I want you all to understand. After the first video that come out in February that we got so much attention on, a couple days later I had a woman from Oklahoma call me. And she had a problem with a horse. And I called her, I knew what the problem was because she had told Joy. And so I was thinking about what I was going to tell her. I actually got on YouTube and got to watching some famous trainers on the same problem. Those famous trainers were telling her to do stuff that was going to get her hurt up inside of a trailer. Trailer loading and unloading is a very dangerous thing. What the horse was doing, she would load fine. But when she'd get to wherever she was going, and she untied that thing, it took off running backwards as fast as Secretariat did in the stretch at the Belmont. Just run out of there as fast as it could, backwards. Which is dangerous for her and the horse. And so I called her back the next day and I sat there and thought about it and I said, ma'am, here's the deal. You cannot make that horse come out of there slow. I cannot make that horse come out of that trailer slow. What you've got to do is make it his idea to come out of there slow. So I said, here's what you do. You get up in the morning, get your teeth brushed, face washed, get dressed, fix your breakfast, where you have nothing to do that day, and you have your trailer hooked up, and you go to the barn and you get that horse out and you load him in the trailer and you tie him up, shut your slant, and go back outside and kind of stand there for a minute. Then you come back in, move your door, reach up and untie him, and if he wants to run out backwards, let him. Don't try to hold him back. Let him run out backwards. And as soon as his feet get on the ground, you load him back in the trailer and tie him up and shut the slant. I said, I don't care if this takes you all day long. You do it until he decides this running backwards sucks. I'm just going to take my time and back out because she ain't going to quit. What was it, Joy? A month later, we get a text. And Joy got it, and she said, tell Mike I done what he said about the trailer unloading issue I had. And she said, tell him I am not embarrassed to go on a trail ride now. My horse backs out as slow as he can, and he does it every single time. Now, I could have told her all kinds of stupid stuff to do. Tie a rope around his neck where it wouldn't choke him, let him set back on that and pull and strike and carry on, and maybe get her hurt. Hey, if a horse wants to do something wrong, let him. You're going to have to figure out, they're going to have to figure a lot of this stuff out on their own. And what you've got to do is be in a position to help them. Help them figure it out. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. You cannot stop him from running out of that trailer. Nobody can. Let him run out until he gets sick of it. Until it's his idea to come out slow. And he's going to sit there and say, I can't believe she's that stupid. I'm going to come out of here slow, and I don't care if she likes it or not. She's sitting there going, you bet, come on out of there slow. I'm tired of my friends making fun of me every time I go on a trail ride. Does that make sense at all to you? When you ask these exercises, if a horse just, see how she's moving that hip around? See there? What we're getting here is softness. Softness. Now if I'd walk up here and I'd get close to that hip, I'd take this rope and I'd pop her right there on the ass just as hard as I could. And that way all I'd have to do is that. And she'd get to move. When I look at that hip, see there? She flipped me off there for a split second and I wasn't prepared. See right here? See right there? I just looked, took one step to it. And now she's standing here and she's not paying no attention to me come on the other side. She needs to keep her eyes glued on me the whole time. Whichever side I'm on, right there. See how she kind of wanted to run around me there? I jerked her back and said, hey, just the hip. Right there. Just the hip. You know, and then you send her down the wall. Looky here. She's standing here again. Now, did you notice what I did there? I didn't go to her ass in. I went to the shoulder. Because the shoulder was standing there not moving away from me. That's right there. See there? This goes back to your groundwork that we were doing, moving the shoulders, moving the rear end. Okay? If I went straight to her ass in, for her to go forward, where's she going to go? She's going to go on top of me. We're in a straight line here. She has to move the shoulder over and step around me. See here? Right here's another good example of it. This is what I've been telling you all the way through this. Every exercise has a purpose and a meaning. And whenever we move on into the other categories of this, the intermediate and the advanced, you're going to see why it was so important that you do this right. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you another example. If you've got no horse here, and she don't want to stop, that's whenever I'm going to step back here and I'm going to do that. Okay? And now I'm going to step over here and kind of block her off. See here? You know, You can stop her with your body. Say, hey. And if she keeps on going into you, start twirling this rope, pop that shoulder and knock it back over that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, if she's coming in too close to you, hit the horse on the shoulder closest to you and it'll
That's
go
right.
away from you.
That's exactly right. And this exercise, some of these old horses will get kind of smart alecky about it. Going one way or the other. Like right here, if I asked her to go, there's a lot of them will just take the step right into me, and I mean just barely clear me. That's dangerous. She could kick me when she comes back by. I want that shoulder to step over. Get away from me. Get away from me and go. Get away from me and go. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is, these sticky feet can turn into a bad deal. So can insane feet, moving too fast. Okay, there's a fine line here. It has to see there, I just moved my hand. She says, oh hell, I gotta go. Which is kind of, I'm not gonna get on to her for that. You know, my direction hand didn't come out. But I was moving my hands, moving the rope, and she said, shit, I ain't taking no chances, I'm moving. Now, remember what I told y'all? Remember this, and take it to heart. If you look at a horse's rear end, and he don't move, you come in with this rope here, and you move him. And don't be afraid of hurting him, okay? When I tell you to move over here to my right, I mean move over to my right. I mean...
I know that people are afraid to pop their horse. They think their horse won't like them anymore, or they're
Y'all
afraid,
need to forget that.
or they're afraid that their horse will be afraid of them.
Y'all need to forget that, worrying about your horse liking you. Your horse is going to like you a whole lot better if you make her or her respect you. You know, Ty Chapman said it down there right. The Bible says if you don't correct your children, you don't love them. Okay? I love my horses, and I'm going to correct them. That's why I can sit here on a loose rein, walk around, go on a trail ride, and not worry about it. On my good horses that have been through all this. But my horses know exactly what I expect of them as well. And this is where you guys have got to be. You've stepped out of your comfort zone, and I've got you doing a bunch of stuff here that you have never heard of in your life. Okay?